bit of a colder one today. It's about 22 degrees out, and they weren't kidding when they said to bring a jacket. But an underrated aspect of this temperature is it is prime car water season. So go ahead and load up the car with bottles because it's pretty refreshing. I've got my, where is it? I've got my little car water sitting right here. But 4:15 a.m. It is a beautiful Saturday, beautiful working weekend for me. But the lift still has to happen. And I don't know about you guys, but having a lift after a 12-hour shift, that's not going to happen. It's really hard to, work all day, get home and say, okay, time to go kill it. Time to go to the gym and absolutely destroy chest. It just doesn't work like that for me. And, arguments can be said, yeah, it's better to go after work because you've had a full day of eating, pretty well hydrated, pretty well carved up. You'll be much more able to muscularly recover due to the intramuscular carbohydrates coursing through your veins. But as true as that may or may not be, it's more of a mental thing for me. I have a very hard time kind of hyping myself to say, okay, let's go kill it. I can go, and I'm sure it wouldn't be a bad lift, but I wouldn't be able to mentally be there. As opposed to the mornings before work, I think it's there's an aspect of like a hardcore edge to it, I guess, to be able to say, oh yeah, I got up before anybody else is awake, and I went and had a badass lift, got a really good pump. I don't know, there's something about that I like. Now, it is a lot easier said than done. I think I started, doing the morning lifts consistently. Had to be like maybe November of 2023 or something. It's been well over a year now doing this. So even after a year or so, I'm still here telling you I'm tired. I don't think that aspect of it ever really changes, but you get used to getting up. I think the hardest part is just getting your feet on the ground after that alarm goes off. It's a real mental battle there, but definitely worth it. If your schedule aligns in such a way that, it's hard to go after work for whatever reason, try out the mornings, man. Try it out. Give it a week, because doing it for one day, I don't think anybody is going to say, okay, got up early. Yeah, man, that felt great. I mean, some of you might. Some of you morning birds would, but not me. I'm certainly not built for this naturally, but I went to bed early enough, and you kind of just have to make it work in your schedule. So, with all that being said, one burning question is, okay, how do I put myself in the best condition possible to be able to have a good lift in the morning? Because it's not like I woke up around 2 a.m., had a really nice carb-heavy meal, slammed a liter of water, and then slept for another hour and a half before going. It just doesn't really work like that. What happened is, there's a meeting of two state troopers there. They're probably wondering why my dome light lights are on while I'm talking to myself. But what I'll do is get up. I have a little bowl of treats, something or other. Nothing too crazy, but just something carb heavy. And I use that term very loosely. So right now I have a bunch of these little dark chocolate quinoa like crisp things. It sounds bad. It doesn't sound that great, but man, there's something about those things that are addictive. And each little one is 1.5 grams of fat and 5 grams of carbs. So I grabbed 2 of those bad boys, grabbed a bottle of water, and along with everything else I need for the day, and I stepped out. So before I started recording, ate both of those guys, slammed that bottle of water. There we go. Now, of course, these are still not ideal conditions. I would still much rather have had like a couple hours to eat a real meal and drink a bunch of water and wake up a little more, and also not be pressured by time limitations. But we don't live in a perfect world, and as the old saying goes, country boys make it do. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Man, there's a lot to talk about because I don't record these every day. Cut progress update. We have broken past the plateau. Round of applause. Last video I updated you guys kind of at a plateau of like 195, 196. Yeah, we've broken past that. We're down to about 192, 193-ish. I didn't have a chance to weigh myself this morning. I kind of sprinted out the door. But yeah, and the only real thing that I did was I upped my cardio. I think I was just being a bit of a child when it comes to that. Like, I don't disagree with my past statements about, recomp and this, that, and the other. But also, I don't think I was 100% honest with myself. I think there were a couple grams of this or that here or there that were kind of going past or going into my mouth without being logged, paired with not enough cardio. Here we are. But before I continue, let me slam my pre-workout real quick, since I'm getting a little closer to the gym and I need that to hit as soon as I make it. Give me 1 second. All right. Pre-workout slammed. So, cut is going pretty darn well. I anticipate to be in the 180s, hopefully by mid-February. So, pretty exciting, man. I haven't been in the 180s since the 8th grade. In the 8th grade, I weighed 188 pounds. I was very fat back then. So, that's kind of cool. That's really exciting to see that. That's kind of a huge milestone. But I'll keep you posted on that as it continues. As for the lift today, I'm kind of going out of my way to gym 20 minutes in the opposite direction of my apartment. But I'm going because I love their chest equipment. So I woke up a little extra early today, and I made sure everything was ready so that I pretty much had to wake up, fly out the door, good to go. Just to give myself enough time to make it there, warm up, have a good lift, and shower, change, and then make it to work afterwards. So timing wise, I'm doing pretty good. I be there in like 4 or 5 minutes, so that gives me about an hour and 15 minutes to lift. Really, all I need is 45, but we've given ourselves plenty of time. And my plan is, after a warm up, they have this pretty neat flat plate-loaded chest press machine. I don't really like flat bench that much. I hardly ever do it, but there's something about this machine that just feels great. I don't know what it is about this machine, but it always feels incredible. So definitely going to start off with a bunch of those. I mean, the world is our oyster, man. I could move on and do a Smith press. They have this awesome incline press plate loaded machine. Maybe I'll do a little bit of that. Definitely going to throw in some cable work at some point during the workout and rinse and repeat until pumped. I say this every time. I'll try to get some in the gym recording time, but really it depends on how busy it is. I mean, if there are a bunch of people walking around, I don't need to kind of, get in their way. They don't really know me like that. As soon as I have a regular gym, maybe I'll do some more in the gym recording, but for now, we work with what we got. So, enough yapping. I gotta wait for this light to turn, and there's nobody in either direction. Fate is tempting me to run a red light, but I won't put that on recording. So, I will catch you guys after the lift. Oh. Okay. Ugh.
pose down, and then I've got cardio. So honestly, you can kind of see the cleavage in there. Wasn't the best pump today. Wasn't the worst either, so. One most muscular, because you got to do that. Holy shit. That was a great fucking pose down. So, 20 minutes of cardio, and then I gotta go. Okay. Lift is done. Popped by the gas station and got these little turkey sausage beef jerky bite things. Just feeling like having something a little savory this morning alongside my not sponsored overnight oats insert. Haven't cracked into it yet. I was at Costco the other day and I saw them, and the macros definitely are not the best. It's like 280 calories, 20 grams of protein, 44 carb, and like 3 or 4 fat or something. So not the greatest, but certainly not the worst for a post-workout meal kind of to get started, right? When it comes to like anything I'm eating now, I always base it on a protein to calorie ratio, and typically I judge if it's worth it based on if there are about what is it, 10 grams of protein per 100 calories. That's kind of how I like to go about it. Of course, there's room for allowances here, but that's just a good rule of thumb that I've been following with. So these two together combined will make about 470 calories, give or take, for morning food, breakfast time. And then lunchtime, I've got 2 sandwiches. Now, probably thinking to yourself, sandwiches? Monty, what are you doing? That doesn't sound like a bodybuilder's meal. You should be having cauliflower rice and grilled chicken cooked with avocado oil. Well, let me tell you what, all right, I am a creature of habit. I'll hyperfixate on one specific meal type until I'm sick of it, and then I'll flip over to something else. So right now the fixation is sandwiches. And it's really easy to make that work when you're on a cut, right? Instead of using regular white bread or fancy sourdough bread or something or other, just use keto bread. And people will complain about keto bread. They're like, oh, it tastes fucking gross, man. No, I don't think so. I think it's amazing. Considering the caloric intake ratio that it has, 35 calories for a slice, and to me it's indistinguishable from white bread. It's kind of a no-brainer for me. So one sandwich is 2 grams of fat, 2 grams of carbs, and 12 grams of protein from the bread, along with 1 slice of Havarti cheese. That's 110 calories. It's a little heavier in the fat, but I get to splurge where I can. 5 grams of protein, and then 56 grams of organic turkey breast. So that's 0.5 fat, 0.5 carb, and 13 protein. Multiply all of that by 2. We've got, hold on, 140 plus 21, 210, 320, about 350 calories for 2 sandwiches. And within that 350 calories, we've got 12, 17, 27, 37, about 43 grams of protein. That is a phenomenal protein to calorie ratio to me. So I kind of like, I've been fixated on the sandwiches for now, and then I know whenever I'm sick of this, I'll flip back and have like some sort of chicken and rice. And that's not because that is like the classic bodybuilder's meal or anything. I've always really loved chicken and rice. So, you know, nothing wrong with flipping over to that and just sticking with it, you know. So I've kind of got everything in order in terms of calories for the day, and I didn't really have to do much meal prepping to do it. Just kind of throw together some sandwiches and you're good to go. And if these overnight oats are as good as people say, I've kind of got myself in a bit of a good routine. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So let's talk about the pump, the lift in general. I don't know. It wasn't the best, like, feeling wise. It wasn't the best chest pump I've ever had. Workout didn't feel like amazing. Like, I don't know. I can't say it was an off morning, but it certainly wasn't like, whoa, this is great. It was just another day. Just another chest day for the books, which is perfectly fine, man. You gotta log the hours to get the results. So I'm pretty content with that. But the pump at the end, I don't know if it was just where I decided to pose down. Maybe the lighting was, you know, much better than I'm used to. But dude, that was a pretty fucking crazy chest pump. I mean, I saw some very slight shoulder striations. You saw that vein kind of popping out here. Chest cleavage looked really good. Things are starting to look pretty defined. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said in my last little entry, every day you kind of notice these changes when it comes to the cut, and especially with now my having upped the cardio every day, and you know, I'm a little more careful with what I eat now. You know, I try to plan out my meals a little more than just kind of freeballing it. I think all of that has kind of helped out a lot, because we're rapidly approaching the 180s. So, you know, aside from the number on the scale, the striations on the shoulder, the veins, the pump looked really good. I mean, even just in my face, you can kind of see like the, you know, I'm mogging right now, but you know, you can kind of see the creases in my face start to kind of form up. We're starting to lose some fat in the face. That's pretty fucking sick. Along with my legs, I carry, my fat distribution is a little odd, because I carried a lot like in my chest, and then pretty much like very minimal in my mid-torso, and then a lot in the lower stomach, love handles, and legs. So if I was a woman, I would be very happy with that fat distribution. I would be beautiful. But didn't work out like that, so we got to make it work. But we're starting to really see those differences there. I'm seeing like a good deal of loose skin, even in my like thighs, which is bittersweet, because I just kind of hate the way it's a new thing for my mind to be like, oh, looks fucking gross. But also, that's a huge victory. That's a huge success to me. So overall, very, very happy with the progress, man. Yeah, no, it really is just upping the cardio. I was talking to a buddy of mine at work the other day, and he kind of asks me about my cut progress all the time, and he's very anytime he notices any changes, he's always very vocal and supportive about it. But we were sitting there, and he was asking me like, "Hey man, like how's it going? I know you're plateaued. Any updates there?" And I told him, "Yeah, no, I broke through that." And he asked me like, "How'd I do it?" I told him I upped the cardio. The biggest thing is I upped my cardio. I was doing about 30 minutes every day, which, like, to be honest, more than enough, I think. But just not enough for me. The problem is when I started this cut, I'm pretty sure I just dropped it from whatever I was eating at straight to 2,000. When really I should have kind of slowly dropped the calories over time. So because of that, it kind of, messed it up a good bit, because your body will acclimate to whatever caloric intake that you adjust to. So it helps when you're able to slowly bring it down, so your body has to keep kind of, what the fuck is this? No, man. Oh, wow, that blows. They blocked off the entire street. They blocked off the entire street. That sucks. What is happening here, dude? There's like a lot of cop cars. A lot of stuff is happening. It's weird. But yeah, anyhow, because of the drastic change in calories, I didn't give my body a chance to kind of have that opportunity to keep dropping and dropping and dropping. I made it a lot harder on myself. So to combat that without having to drop my calories anymore, I just upped the cardio, and that's kind of what I'm just gonna have to keep doing until we're finally done, which is rapidly approaching. I think, hopefully, maybe I'll be done with the cut by end of February, end of March, more towards end of March, I think. So, yeah, it's coming. I'd like to kind of regularly post a bit more because I do miss it, but I don't want to do that until I'm done with the cut. To be honest, I just kind of want to dial in, finish off the cut, and then from there we can kind of go full throttle. So that's enough yapping. I want to enjoy this little oatmeal shake thing that I have and these little turkey sausages. So I'll catch you guys on the flippity flop.